I'm here with my 2019 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4 sedan, and today I want to do a quick update on the car, including what went wrong with the fuel delivery system and the check engine light that I got a few weeks ago. I also want to give an update on how this car is doing at nearly 22,000 miles. Once again, it's a 2019, and I've had it since November, so I've had it for about almost 9 months now, and I've already put on about 22,000 miles. And just want to go over a few things that I found and another issue that has come up that was recently fixed. So if we look around the car, we can see that there aren't a whole lot of scratches on this car. I really haven't had a lot of issues with the paint. I know some people have on the forums, but for me, this car has had very robust paint on it, so I haven't had any complaints. I do notice that the air, this is a styling cue and also for aerodynamics, and the air kind of travels up this body panel right here, the rear quarter panel, and so I do get a few rock chips up this way. I don't know if the air is just directing, up this way, and then the rocks come with it and create the chips. But I've had a few of those things, which isn't a big deal. So I mean, overall, it's been pretty good. You can see there's a little bit of wear on this seat already at 22,000 miles. I've only got, I've had this car for 8.5 months. 22,000 miles is a 2019 with the standard, most common type of seat in the Giulia, which is this leather standard seat. And I mean, I'm not a heavy guy. I'm about 180 pounds, 6 feet tall, and this, I don't know. I mean, it's already wearing a little bit on this inside part here. My hips aren't that big. I'm not really that heavy, and I guess it already is wearing there, so that's a little bit of a complaint. Overall, pretty good. Step inside. There we go. 21,895. Let's see. Ignore the door. Here, let's step inside for a second. Start it up. See what the MPG is. So if we take a look at the MPG, I'm getting 30.5 miles per gallon average on this tank, and I'm averaging more like 32.4 if you account for all the miles I've done in this oil change so far. So yeah, it's actually done pretty well for gas mileage. I would say about 65% of the miles on this thing are highway. The rest are city miles. And I'm still getting an average of 32 miles per gallon, which is outstanding for a car this powerful. Remember, 0 to 60 is 5.1 seconds, manufacturer estimated time, and I've gotten more like 4.7 seconds in really cold weather, quarter tank of gas, nothing else in the car, so very happy with it. I've had a few bugs on Apple CarPlay, so that's alright. I mean, I just simply unplug my phone, plug it back in, and the issues always go away, so I never have to reboot the system with the car turning on and off or anything like that. So it's very easy to fix the issues if they come up with Apple CarPlay, so I haven't had any problems with that. I mean, overall, I just haven't had a lot of people in this car for a duration of time, so the other seats have virtually no wear on them. I guess the passenger seat might have a little bit of wrinkling right there on the edge, which is the same symptom the driver's seat has. So as far as backseat wear goes, there really haven't been a lot of people in this car, so I haven't had any excessive wear on the seats or anything like that, so it's in really good shape. And overall comfort back there is pretty good for the class. If you're on a long road trip, maybe the Stelvio would be a little bit more comfortable, but the Giulia is really not bad as an all-around daily commuter and for shuttling people to and from school or co-workers out for lunch. So overall, back there, the red leather's held up really well in the sun, and I haven't used any covers or anything on the car. So overall, the last 8.5 months, there's been minimal wear on the back seat. So another thing that happened was I hit a pothole about a few days ago, and the tire actually got a slice in the sidewall, the right front tire. It's not on this tire because I actually had it replaced today with a brand new one. This tire would be $187 plus mounting, installation, taxes, fees, and disposal fee of the old tire, and so this would be about $231 out the door for a new tire if you had a pothole on one of these babies. This is a 17-inch rim, P225 50R17. I got a slice in the sidewall a while ago, about a week ago, and then I got the tire replaced today because I could basically get my fingernail, you know, almost a centimeter deep at that slice in the sidewall. So that means that it was pretty close to losing air, and I didn't really want to drive on that. So got that replaced, and you know, classic Michigan pothole. There was no bubble in the sidewall or anything, but it just got a slice in the tire from a jagged edge on the pothole. This car also had a recall done today. It's the V84 recall for the fuel level. Apparently on like a 10% grade, if the car has between 40 and 60 something percent gas, and then the car is turned off and it sits for more than a half an hour, it will read, it'll think that the whole car was basically refueled during that time. So basically, if it was not refueled during that time, it's gonna read this, you know, over half a tank, and then the fuel level's actually going down, and you'll think you'll have a lot of gas, so it can run out of gas and it'll still be reading that half tank measurement. So luckily that was fixed. It was just a quick body control module software update, but no other issues on this car. It's been really solid. I put a lot of miles on driving across the Midwest for family, friends, and work, so I've done a lot of driving, and tires have been great other than the slice in the sidewall from a pothole, which is not the car's fault, and it just, potholes get in the way. But I mean, the paint just stands out. I really enjoy the red color. I see other Alfa Romeos, classic Fiats on the road, and I still love the color. It stands out. If you don't really want it to stand out, you can get like white or black or blue. Those are just fine. I think they're really nice colors, and Vesuvio gray is another great color I really like. So just to go over what happened with the check engine light on this car, basically when the check engine light came on, I had about a quarter tank of fuel, and the gear selector, or the drive mode selector, was in advanced efficiency at the time, and then all of a sudden when the check engine light came on, it switched to normal mode, natural mode I should say, and it didn't let me shift out of any other position at the time because of the check engine light. It was basically going into a somewhat of a limp home mode. I still had plenty of power, maybe not 100% of the power, but at least 80% power still left, and the check engine light would come on and start-stop for the engine was disabled. So I was getting a little bit worse gas mileage. So I brought in the car after looking up the codes, and it said that the vent valve for the evap system was stuck open, I believe, and basically what happened was the fuel evap canister valve was contaminated. Now the dealer didn't say exactly what it was contaminated of, but I do know that when these evap canister valves are usually contaminated, it's because of a fuel inside that canister valve. And I haven't topped off this car in terms of fuel for several months. I did top it off, I think, twice in March for a really long trip, and it was a really cheap gas station that I went to. But other than that, over the 21,900 miles that I've had this car, I've never topped off the tank. They fixed it actually much sooner. Like the shop I brought it to, they got it done in 4 days. They initially said it was 2 weeks because of a backlog of cars and ordering parts, but they got the car out in 4 days, and I just kept my loaner car for a few more days after that because I didn't have time to return it. But the Stelvio was a fine car to have for the time that the car was in the shop, and I truly enjoyed that car. I think it was great. It wasn't as sporty as this car, but it was still a blast to drive. It had a few more options like the paddle shifters and you know, the advanced headlights, so that helped a little bit. But you know, overall I was glad to have the Giulia back, and I think the fix for that canister valve wasn't actually as bad as a lot of other cars. I think it came out to be, I think it was like $210 or something, so it really wasn't that bad. It's covered under warranty, so no worries for me. But if you're a customer in the future, I mean, I think most repairs are pretty reasonable on this car, so I've had pretty good luck with that so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video on the update on this 2019 Giulia Q4 sedan. This is a 2019 model, like I said, and 22,000 miles. I've had this car for 8.5 months, so I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and stay tuned for more of these awesome videos on this amazing sports sedan. Have a good one, guys.